The night was calm, almost too calm for a world as busy as Earth. Cars moved on highways, lights shined through city windows, and people continued their usual lives without knowing that something was watching them from the darkness between the stars. In a small town on the coast, a boy named Arvin stood outside with his telescope. He loved the night sky. It always gave him peace. But tonight, something felt wrong. He could not explain why. The stars looked the same, the moon was in its place, and the wind was gentle. Still, there was a heavy feeling in the air, as if the sky was holding its breath. Arvin adjusted the telescope, focusing on a bright point he had never noticed before. It looked like a star, but its light pulsed, slow, steady, unnatural. He frowned. "Stars don't do that," he whispered. At the same moment, thousands of kilometers away, in a control room full of screens, 3 satellite operators stared at their monitors in confusion. One by one, little red lights began blinking. Satellite 11, lost. Satellite 34, lost. Satellite 56, lost. "Is this a joke?" one operator muttered. But the room remained silent. Everyone felt the same cold fear. Within 60 seconds, every satellite around Earth went offline. No warning, no explosion, just silence. In the Pentagon, generals rushed in. In Europe, alarms rang. In Japan, emergency meetings started immediately. But no one could find any cause. No hacker could shut down all satellites. No natural event could silence thousands of machines at once. Across the world, the same message appeared on every offline screen. Prepare. No sender. No language code. No explanation. Just one word. People panicked. Social media exploded. Every nation blamed every other nation. But something stranger was happening in the sky. Animals sensed it first. Birds flew away from cities in massive groups. Dogs barked at the sky. Whales changed direction deep in the ocean. It was as if the entire planet felt a vibration, too low for humans to hear but strong enough to make every creature restless. Arvin looked up again. He didn't know why, but his heart beat faster. Something in the air felt alive, like the night itself was watching him. And then the vibration reached humans. It wasn't sound. It wasn't shaking. It was a feeling, a soft pressure inside the chest, a quiet weight in the mind, as if someone whispered directly into the thoughts of every person on Earth. A single word echoed inside millions of minds at the same time. Prepare. People froze in streets, in homes, in cars. They looked around, confused, frightened, trying to understand what they had just felt. But there was no source, no speaker, no machine. Governments tried to calm the public, but world leaders were just as scared. Secret meetings were held. Scientists checked every frequency, every signal, every possibility. But there was nothing. No ship in orbit. No energy source. No known technology. The message came from nowhere. But in deep space, far beyond human reach, something else was happening. Hundreds of alien ships, hidden in dark regions of the galaxy, received the same message Earth saw. Their holographic screens flashed the same word. Prepare. Alien commanders stared in horror, speaking in languages humans had never heard. This cannot be Earth. They do not have this level of power. Impossible. The signal covered the whole galaxy. In a massive chamber filled with floating lights and star maps, the Galactic Council met urgently. Leaders of powerful civilizations gathered around a table made of shimmering crystal. One of them spoke with a trembling voice. The humans have awakened something. Something old. Another slammed his clawed hand on the table. No, they are a young race. Primitive. They have barely left their planet. But a tall, silver-skinned leader stepped forward, eyes glowing faintly. You fools. You never studied their moon. It is not what it seems. The chamber fell silent. On Earth, the moon hung peacefully in the sky, bright and calm. But in space, alien sensors detected something beneath its surface. Something massive, something ancient, something mechanical. The Galactic Council continued arguing. We must stop them before they activate it. We must warn them. No. If the humans understand what they truly are, every empire will fall. And then all their debates ended instantly when the moon did something that no natural object should ever do. It shifted. Not much. Not enough for humans to notice. But enough that alien scanners screamed with warnings. Metal plates, buried deep inside the moon, moved like sleeping armor awakening. Back on Earth, Arvin watched the moon through his telescope. He blinked. Had it changed shape? No. Impossible. Right? He stepped back, feeling the cold weight of fear. The world was changing. The sky was hiding secrets. And Earth was waking up. But humanity had no idea. Not yet. The world did not sleep that night. News channels ran the same headline again and again. Satellite blackout, cause unknown. People stayed awake, waiting for answers that no one could give. But while humans argued on screens and streets, something much stranger was happening above them. Something far beyond their understanding. In a large underground observatory, Dr. Liana Cruz stared at a live feed of the moon. She had been a scientist for 20 years, yet she had never seen anything like this. On the monitor, a thin glowing line slowly traced across the moon's surface. It was faint, almost like a crack of light. She rubbed her eyes. "That cannot be real," she whispered. But the glow grew brighter. She zoomed in. Her hands began to shake. The line was perfectly straight. Too perfect for nature. "Call the director," she said, voice unsteady. "Now." Around the world, other observatories saw the same thing. The moon wasn't glowing randomly. It was opening. In every major capital, Tokyo, Washington, Moscow, Berlin, Delhi, leaders demanded reports. None made sense. No telescope malfunction. No reflection. No solar flare. Something inside the moon was moving. In space, panic spread faster than light. Deep in a hidden part of the galaxy, alien ships gathered silently. Their commanders watched Earth's moon with terror. They had advanced sensors, far stronger than human technology, and those sensors were screaming warnings. A massive alien general spoke with his metallic voice trembling. "The shell is unlocking." Another replied, "It cannot be. That weapon was sealed before humans even evolved." A third creature whispered, "Then who activated it now?" No one answered, because every species in the room knew one truth. If the moon opened completely, no empire would stand against Earth. Earth still thought everything was normal. In Arvin's small town, morning light spread across the sky. People started their day pretending everything was fine. Some believed the satellite failure was just a technical glitch. Some thought it was a prank. Some ignored it completely. But Arvin couldn't ignore what he had seen. He took out his telescope again, even though the sun was rising, and checked the moon one more time. The faint line was still there. He felt his stomach drop. His mother called from inside, "Arvin, come eat." But he couldn't move. His eyes stayed locked on the sky. Something inside the moon pulsed like a heartbeat. The moon opens. Around noon, scientists worldwide received a shock. The moon's glowing line split into 4, then 8, then 16. They expanded like petals of a giant metal flower. The moon was not breaking apart. It was unfolding. Dr. Liana Cruz watched in disbelief. "This is a structure," she said. "The moon is a machine." For a moment, silence filled the observatory. No one dared breathe. Then the entire moon lit up with a soft, cold light. Not bright. Not blinding. Just awake. Every world leader received the same emergency message from their science teams. The moon is artificial. Humanity in confusion. The galaxy in fear. Humans asked the same questions again and again. How long has this been here? Who built it? What is happening? But in far space, alien leaders already knew the answers. A tall, ancient creature with glowing golden eyes addressed the Galactic Council. "Millions of years ago," he said slowly, "humans fought a war far greater than anything we remember." A red-skinned leader snarled, "Humans? They were primitive back then." "You are wrong," the golden-eyed elder replied. "Humans once ruled entire sectors. Their empire burned brighter than ours ever did." Another alien blurted out, "But they lost everything." "They did not lose," the elder whispered. "They erased their own memories. They locked away their powers. They hid their greatest weapon in plain sight. His long finger pointed at the glowing moon on the holographic map. That weapon. Fear spread across the council chamber. Cold. Heavy. Silent. Earth receives a message. Back on Earth, at exactly 12:03 p.m., every phone vibrated. Every television flickered. Every radio crackled. People froze. And then, without warning, a deep, calm voice filled every device on the planet. Protocol 1 unlocked. Humanity, awaken. The voice wasn't familiar. It wasn't male or female. It wasn't loud. But it felt old. Very old. People clutched their chests. Some fell to their knees. Some cried in fear. Some simply stared at the sky. Arvin heard it too. The message echoed inside him, warm and heavy. His heart pounded so fast he thought it might break. He whispered to himself, "Awaken what? What does that even mean?" But there was no answer. Only the moon shining brighter and brighter. Alien response. Block Earth. In the Galactic Council chamber, panic turned into action. We must seal Earth. No ship goes in or out. If humans remember who they were, we are finished. They cannot be allowed to activate the moon's core. The council voted. A fleet of battleships moved toward Earth immediately. But none dared approach too close. Every commander knew. One wrong move against the moon could destroy them. Still, they had no choice. If Earth woke up, the galaxy would kneel. The final moment of Part 2. As night returned to Earth, the moon changed one more time. A bright symbol appeared on its surface. A symbol no human recognized but every alien feared. A star inside a circle. The sign of the old human empire. Arvin stared at it through his telescope, mouth dry, hands shaking. His world had just changed forever. And the moon was only beginning to open. Far from Earth, hidden inside a dark region of the galaxy where stars were few and shadows were thick, the Galactic Council chamber floated in silence. It was a giant circular hall made of crystal-like metal, always glowing with soft blue light. But today that glow felt weak. Afraid. Like even the walls knew something terrible had awakened. Inside the chamber, leaders from more than 50 species gathered. Some were tall and thin like living silver, some were covered in scales, some had wings, some had no eyes, some had too many. They were different in shape and color, but right now they all shared the same expression. Fear. A giant hologram of Earth's moon hovered in the middle of the chamber, slowly rotating. Metal petals were opening around it, releasing long streams of light. Strange symbols appeared on its surface. The room trembled slightly as the hologram flickered. The symbol of a star inside a circle glowed brighter. Every leader stared at it. No one spoke for a long moment. Finally, the silver-skinned leader broke the silence. "We warned you," he said softly. "The humans were never just a young race. They were something else." A horned creature slammed his fist on the table. "This is madness. Their planet is barely advanced. They do not even control their own moon. They do not remember," the silver-skinned leader interrupted. "That is different." A cold hush filled the room. He continued, "Humans once controlled an empire greater than all of ours. They defeated enemies we cannot name. They used weapons that could erase star systems. But after a great war, they vanished. Their cities disappeared. Their memories were wiped. Their technology was hidden." Another leader whispered, "Hidden inside their own moon." The silver-skinned leader nodded. "The moon is not a moon. It is a vault, a weapon, a guardian, and it is waking up." A deep voice rose from the shadows. A huge reptilian creature leaned forward, claws tapping against the table. "If the humans regain their old knowledge," he growled, "our rule ends. Every empire, every kingdom, every council seat gone." Some leaders tried to argue. "They are peaceful now. They have no fleet. They do not even know we exist. We can contain them." But others shook their heads. "You saw the broadcast," a winged leader said. "The message was on every human device. That voice was not from their world. It came from the moon's core." Another added, The moon's energy readings are rising. If it continues, Earth will have the strongest defense system in the galaxy. And the strongest weapon, the silver-skinned leader whispered. The statement made the chamber fall completely silent. Earth remains unaware. Meanwhile, back on Earth, people continued arguing about the strange events. Scientists fought on television. Politicians made speeches. Some people believed it was a prank. Some believed it was the end of the world. But the truth was worse. They had no idea the galaxy was watching them with pure terror. In his small town, Arvin walked through the streets listening to people gossip. It's just a glitch. No, it's a natural event. Maybe the sun did something weird. It's aliens. No, don't be stupid. Arvin said nothing. He kept thinking about the symbol on the moon. The way it glowed. The way it felt like it was staring back at him. His whole body felt uneasy. Something was coming. Something big. The council's decision. Back in the chamber, the debate reached its breaking point. Voices rose. Claws slammed. Wings flapped. Every species shouted a different plan. Destroy the moon. No. That will destroy Earth. We must take control of it. We must kill the humans before they wake up. We must negotiate. They do not know who they are. We can lie. We can manipulate. We cannot risk war. They nearly wiped out the galaxy once. Finally, the council leader lifted a glowing staff. The room fell silent instantly. We cannot let Earth awaken unchecked, he declared. But we cannot attack the moon either. It will destroy us. He pointed at the hologram of Earth. We will isolate the planet. Surround it. Block every path. No ship goes in. No ship comes out. No signal reaches them. A scaled leader growled. And if the humans activate the core? The council leader lowered his head. Then may the stars have mercy on us all. The vote was taken. Every member raised their hand, or claw, except one. The motion passed. Within minutes, massive fleets began moving toward Earth, forming a ring around the solar system. Battleships cloaked themselves. Scout ships hid in asteroid belts. Drones flew silently through space, watching every movement of the moon. The galaxy had declared a silent war. But Earth still didn't know anything. A secret archive is opened. In a dark corner of the chamber, an ancient stone door slid open. Only a few council members even knew this room existed. Inside were old records, very old. Much older than the council itself. The silver-skinned leader entered alone and activated a crystal tablet. It projected a memory from thousands of years ago. Back when humans were not weak, not afraid, not ordinary. The memory showed humans marching through alien worlds with glowing blades, starships of impossible design, and the moon shining like a second sun above them. The leader whispered to himself, "If they remember even a fraction of who they were, we are finished." He closed the archive and walked out slowly. His voice was almost a whisper. The humans must never learn the truth. The galaxy trembled in fear. Earth remained blind, and the moon kept opening, piece by piece. The night sky over Earth looked calm, but far above the clouds, hidden in the dark, a silent armada gathered. The Galactic Council had sent a small test fleet, not their strongest ships, not their most dangerous weapons, just enough to see how the moon would react. If the moon stayed silent, they would attack fully. If the moon responded, no one wanted to imagine that outcome. 3 sleek alien ships floated just outside Earth's atmosphere. Their black hulls absorbed all light, making them nearly invisible. Inside the lead ship, Commander Rail gripped the arm of his chair. His skin shimmered like polished stone as he spoke to his crew. "Stay calm. We fire only one probe. No direct attack." His second officer nodded nervously. "If the moon activates, we run." Rail said nothing. He didn't want to think about running. But the fear inside him grew heavier with every second. The ship turned slowly toward Earth. A small metal sphere, no bigger than a football, slid out of a launch tube and hovered in front of the ship. "This probe carries no weapon," Rail reminded the crew. "It only scans." The officer pressed the control. The probe shot toward Earth in a streak of silver light. The test had begun. On Earth, Confusion grows. Arvin was outside again, looking at the moon. It still glowed faintly, and the strange symbol remained on its surface. His friend Mira walked up to him. "You didn't sleep?" she asked. "No," he said quietly. "Did you?" "Not really. Everyone's scared. They think something bad is coming." Arvin kept staring upward. Maybe something already came. Mira followed his gaze. She didn't understand what he meant, but she could feel it too. The air felt heavy. The night felt wrong. A soft hum filled the sky, so quiet most humans didn't hear it. Arvin did. "What was that?" Mira asked. He shook his head. "I don't know. In space, the probe vanishes." The tiny probe crossed halfway to Earth. Then, without warning, it disappeared. Just vanished. No explosion. No flash. No sound. One moment it existed. The next moment, nothing. Commander Rail stood up in shock. "Where did it go?" The sensor officer screamed. "It's not cloaked. It's gone. Wiped." Rail's voice dropped to a whisper. "The moon erased it." He felt cold rage and fear mix inside him. "We need to pull back now." But before the fleet could retreat, the moon moved. The moon responds. Inside the moon's unfolding metal layers, ancient mechanisms awakened for the first time in millions of years. Rings of silver metal rotated around a glowing core. Strange markings lit up like veins of fire. A ripple of gravity spread outward. Gentle, slow, almost peaceful. But deadly. The ripple reached the alien ships. Alarms exploded across the bridge. "Commander! Gravity spike! It's pulling us in! We can't control the engines!" Rail's eyes widened as his ship shook violently. "This was only a test," he muttered. "A simple probe. And this is the answer?" The gravity wave wrapped around the ship like a giant invisible hand. Panels cracked. Lights shattered. Metal groaned like an animal in pain. The second ship tilted sideways and began to twist, its hull bending as if made of soft clay. "No!" Rail shouted. "Stabilize it!" But there was no stabilizing. No escape. No time. The gravity field intensified. The alien ships collapsed inward, silently, cleanly, crushed into floating metal fragments no larger than grains of sand. 3 ships gone. 0 debris. 0 survivors. Only dust drifting in the darkness. Earth notices the aftershock. Down on Earth, Arvin flinched as the ground trembled softly beneath his feet. Mira grabbed his arm. "Was that an earthquake?" "No," Arvin whispered. "It came from above." He looked at the moon. It was brighter now. Too bright. Like something inside it had just breathed for the first time. In the Galactic Council, panic explodes. A messenger rushed into the council chamber. "All contact lost with Test Fleet Omega." Gasps filled the room. A winged leader shouted, "How? Those ships were not attacking." The messenger swallowed nervously. "High Council. The ships were destroyed before they could send a warning." Another leader hissed, "Destroyed by what?" The messenger pointed at the hologram of the moon. It reacted instantly. It allowed the probe to enter a certain distance, then erased it from existence. Moments later, the moon emitted a gravitational pulse that crushed all 3 ships. The chamber erupted into chaos. "Impossible! That power level is forbidden. The moon should not have awakened this fast. If humans gained control of it." The council leader slammed his staff on the table. "Silence!" Everyone stopped. The leader spoke with a hard, cold voice. This was a warning. From the moon, not from humans. The silver-skinned elder added, "The moon is acting on its own. Its ancient programming is protecting Earth." A reptilian general growled, "Then we must destroy it before the humans learn to use it." "No," the elder whispered. "Destroying it will kill us first." Fear spread across the room like fire. The first strike ends. Back on Earth, the night grew quiet again. People returned to their homes, thinking everything was normal. Only Arvin stayed outside, staring at the glowing moon. "What are you?" he whispered. The moon did not answer. but a soft pulse of light rolled across its surface. Slow, ancient, powerful, like the heartbeat of something waking from a deep, long sleep. Arvin felt a chill run down his spine. The first strike had been made, and Earth had answered without knowing anything. For 2 days, the world tried to return to normal. People worked, children went to school, traffic moved, and news anchors smiled with nervous faces. But no matter how much humanity pretended, something in the air felt different. People woke up with strange dreams. Dreams of stars. Dreams of battles. Dreams of places they had never seen, yet somehow recognized. Doctors called it stress. Politicians ignored it. Scientists blamed weather changes. But the truth was far stranger. Humanity was beginning to remember. Arvin's first vision. Arvin sat on the rooftop of his house, hugging his knees, staring at the moon that now glowed with steady white light. He hadn't told anyone, not even Mira, about the vision he saw last night. It had come suddenly, like a lightning flash in his mind. He wasn't on Earth. He was standing on a giant metal platform overlooking 3 suns. Humans in shining armor walked beside him, speaking a language he had never heard but somehow understood. Ships shaped like blades floated above a glowing city. Someone shouted orders. Weapons hummed beside his ears. Then, a massive explosion. A burning sky. A falling starship. Arvin woke screaming. Now, sitting in the cool night, he touched his head. What was that place? Why did it feel so real? The moon flickered faintly, as if reacting to his thoughts. Arvin shivered. Something was connecting to him. Around the world, people change. A woman in Brazil woke in the middle of the night and wrote symbols on her wall without knowing why. When translated later, they matched markings from the moon. A soldier in India suddenly knew how to disarm weapons he had never seen before. A teacher in Egypt fainted during class because she saw visions of a vast library full of floating holograms. Knowledge far beyond Earth's level. A child in Japan began drawing star maps perfectly, including systems no human telescope had recorded. People reported feeling stronger, faster, more alert. Not supernaturally, just sharper. As if something inside them had always been locked away. And now, the lock was opening. Governments were confused. Scientists were terrified. Military leaders were on edge. But the Galactic Council was terrified the most. In the council chamber, rising panic. The chamber lights flickered as the leaders watched recorded visions from Earth. The silver-skinned elder played a new clip, a human woman speaking a forgotten language in her sleep. A winged leader whispered, "That language is from their old empire." The reptilian general growled softly, "It begins. The moon is restoring their memory." The council leader clenched his jaw. "We must stop this now." "But how?" another asked hopelessly. "We cannot attack the moon. We cannot invade Earth. We cannot talk to them. They do not know us." The elder spoke with grave calmness. "If humans remember who they used to be, then they will not just defend Earth. They will expand again." No one dared respond. Every species here had old stories, stories told in fear, about a time when humans ruled not with cruelty but with terrifying strength. When human fleets ended wars in minutes. When human soldiers fought like storms. If Earth awakened, the galaxy would not stand against them. "We must delay their awakening," the council leader said. "Create fear, confusion, distractions. Make them doubt themselves. Slow them before they understand." It was a desperate plan. But it was the only plan. The moon speaks again. That night, every device on Earth flickered once more. Phones, radios, computers, televisions, even machines that were turned off. Then came the same calm voice, ancient and steady. Protocol 2 unlocking. Human memory restoration in progress. People gasped in fear. Some dropped their phones. Others prayed. Others cried. Arvin felt the voice inside his bones. It wasn't loud. It wasn't scary. It felt like someone speaking to a long-lost family. Mira ran to him in panic. "Did you hear that?" Arvin nodded slowly. "It's talking to us. Not to scare us. To prepare us." Myra's eyes widened. "Prepare us for what?" Arvin stared at the moon. I think, for who we are. Memories spread. The next day was chaos. People across the world described the same memory flashes. A man in New York saw himself operating a massive starship. A woman in China remembered fighting with a glowing staff. A boy in Nigeria saw floating cities with 3 moons. A nurse in France remembered a sick alien child she once treated, thousands of years ago. These weren't dreams. They were collective memories, pieces of humanity's forgotten past. And they were spreading faster every hour. Not everyone got them at once. Some people felt nothing. Some felt everything at once. Arvin was somewhere in between. But he could tell. Something inside him was waking up. Something ancient within. That evening, Arvin walked alone toward the hill outside town. The moon glowed so bright it looked like a silver sun. He felt a strange warmth spreading through his body. Not painful. Not frightening. Like an old power he never knew he had. He closed his eyes. A voice, not from the moon but from memory, echoed in his mind. Humanity does not fall. Humanity returns. Arvin gasped and stumbled backward. He wasn't hearing new words. He was remembering old ones. Millions of humans were. Across the world, hearts beat faster. Eyes glowed faintly for a moment. Hands trembled with energy. Humanity wasn't evolving. Humanity was remembering. Remembering an empire. Remembering a war. Remembering a promise. And the moon, Earth's ancient guardian, was helping them. The first memories had returned. Humanity was awakening. And the galaxy was running out of time. The Galactic Council had always believed they held control over the galaxy. Their fleets were countless, their weapons unmatched, their rule unchallenged. But now, as they watched the moon's light grow brighter every hour, they felt something they had not felt in thousands of years. Fear. Not fear of a weapon. Not fear of an enemy fleet. But fear of a people they once thought helpless. Humans. The final emergency meeting. The council chamber shook with voices. They are remembering too fast. The moon is accelerating the process. We will lose control of the galaxy. Do something before they awaken fully. The council leader raised his staff, and the room fell silent. We launch the full attack, he said coldly. Every fleet, every weapon, every ship. Gasps filled the chamber. That will start a galaxy-scale war. It is a suicide order. The humans are not even fully aware. They will still destroy us. The leader slammed the staff down again. If we do nothing, humans will rise. If we attack, maybe, just maybe, we can stop them. The decision was made. Thousands of warships began moving toward Earth. A deadly armada. A storm of metal and fire. The galaxy held its breath. Earth is still unaware. On Earth, people tried to live normally, but memories kept gaining strength. Scientists felt formulas in their heads they never studied. Pilots reacted faster than machines. Soldiers sensed danger before it appeared. Doctors understood illnesses instinctively. Arvin felt the same. He could read the moon's glowing symbol now, without being taught. Mira walked beside him, watching in fear. How do you know what it means? She whispered. I don't know, Arvin admitted. It just feels like something I always knew. What does it say? Arvin hesitated. It says, Shield Protocol, ready. Mira swallowed hard. Shield? Why? Arvin looked up at the sky. For something coming. The alien armada arrives. The first alien ships appeared quietly, like shadows slipping into the solar system. But within minutes, more ships jumped out of hyperspace. Big ones, small ones, massive ones shaped like claws, wings, spears, and floating orbs. Soon the sky above the solar system was filled with an enormous circle of warships. Thousands. Maybe tens of thousands. They pointed every weapon at Earth. Inside the flagship, the reptilian general growled, Begin the first wave. But the silver-skinned elder grabbed his arm. Wait. Look. The moon was glowing stronger than any star. The elder whispered, It knows we are here. The moon awakens fully. All around the moon, Metal rings unlocked. Panels rotated. Layers folded like armor sliding into place. What was once a peaceful moon now looked like a massive machine. Beautiful, ancient, terrifying. A deep vibration rolled across space. The reptilian general shouted, "Fire everything!" The first wave launched. Missiles. Plasma bolts. Energy beams. Planet breaker weapons. All aimed directly at Earth. But none reached Earth. The shield of the old empire. A giant sphere of shimmering light burst from the moon, expanding until it covered Earth like a second atmosphere. The alien weapons hit the shield. And vanished. Not exploded. Not bounced off. Not weakened. Just disappeared. As if they had never existed. Inside every alien ship, alarms screamed. Weapons malfunctioned. Engines shook. What kind of shield is that? It erases our attacks. This is impossible. No technology can do this. But one voice whispered in horror. It's not technology. It's them. Humanity responds without understanding. Back on Earth, everyone felt the vibration. Some dropped to their knees. Some grabbed their heads. Some shouted in pain. But Arvin stood tall. He felt strength spread through his bones, through his heartbeat, through his thoughts. Mira stared at him. "Arvin, your eyes." They were glowing faintly, like stars. Arvin whispered, "It's not just me. Listen." All across the world, humans were waking up ancient instincts. Fast reflexes. Battle knowledge. Old training. Memories of strategy and war. This wasn't magic. It was who they had once been. Chaos in the Galactic Armada. On the flagship, panic spread like fire. "Our weapons are useless." "Retreat." "We cannot retreat. They will see it as weakness." "The humans have not even fought us yet. The moon alone defends them. What happens when they attack?" The silver-skinned elder closed his eyes. "This is the fall of every leader," he whispered. "We cannot win against people who fought gods." The reptilian general snarled. "No. We continue. Fire again." But his crew didn't obey. They were too terrified. The moon began charging, its center glowing blue-white. If it fired, the entire armada would be destroyed. The elder shouted, "Stop the attack. All ships withdraw. Now." But it was too late. The moon released a pulse. Silent, soft, but unstoppable. The pulse. The pulse passed harmlessly through Earth. Humans felt nothing except a strange warmth. But the alien armada shook violently. Ships shut down. Engines died. Weapons froze. Not destroyed. Not killed. Disabled. The pulse did not harm them. It simply ended their ability to fight. Every ship drifted powerless in space. The war was over before it even began. The Galactic Council fell quiet. Their leaders sat frozen with fear. Earth had not attacked them. Earth had only defended itself. And humanity still had not awakened fully. The galaxy now understood one terrible truth. If this was only the beginning, nothing could stop humans when they rose completely. The galaxy had gone silent. Every alien fleet that surrounded Earth now drifted powerless, floating like broken statues in space. No explosions. No debris. No destruction. Only complete defeat delivered by a single pulse from the moon. But even with the enemy disabled, something even stranger was happening. Humans were changing. Not their bodies, but their minds. The awakening. Arvin stood on a rooftop, staring at the glowing moon. His heartbeat matched the rhythm of the blue light pulsing from its surface. Mira stood beside him, arms crossed tightly. "What is happening to us?" she whispered. Arvin did not look away from the sky. "It's not happening to us," he said slowly. "It's happening back to us. Like something we once lost is returning." Everywhere on Earth, people felt memories and instincts rising. A farmer suddenly remembered star navigation. A child solved a complex equation without knowing how. A soldier predicted movements before they happened. A teacher understood alien languages without learning them. Even animals reacted differently. Dogs barked at the sky. Birds flew in strange patterns. Whales sang long, deep notes that echoed across oceans. Humanity was waking up. The Galactic Council faces truth. Far across the stars, in the highest chamber of the Galactic Council, the remaining leaders gathered in fear. No guards. No advisors. Only them. The silver-skinned elder spoke first. We can no longer lie to ourselves. We never ruled humans. We only delayed them. A spider-like commander trembled. Is this the end of the galaxy? No, the elder answered. It is the beginning of a new order. The reptilian general slammed his claws on the table. They will destroy us. They will take revenge. The elder shook his head. Humans do not destroy easily. They defend. They protect. But if they see the truth of what we did to them— He paused, voice cold. They might show us what they once were. Silence fell. The galaxy had feared many species, but none like humans, because humans were not the strongest, not the fastest, not the smartest. They were the most unpredictable. The moon sends a message. Back on Earth, the moon spoke again. Not with sound, not with text, with a wave of light that touched every human mind at the same moment. Mira grabbed her head. Arvin, what is it saying? Arvin's voice shook. It's telling us what happened long ago. How we were part of a great empire. How we defended many worlds. How we were feared. He swallowed hard. And how the galactic rulers betrayed us. Myra's eyes widened. Why? Arvin stared at the sky. We were too strong. The truth spread across Earth. Many cried. Many became angry. Many stood silent, feeling a deep sadness for a past they never knew. But the message wasn't finished. Another image formed in their minds. A huge gate in space. A portal. A path leading far beyond the galaxy. Mira gasped. What is that? Arvin whispered. Our origin. Humans prepare to act. For the first time in human history, every person felt the same call. Not to war. Not to revenge. To rise. Earth's governments gathered in emergency meetings. Scientists rushed to understand new knowledge forming in their minds. Engineers built machines they had never imagined before. Pilots trained with instincts older than their civilization. Arvin was chosen by an international council to be part of the first team sent to investigate the alien fleets and speak to the defeated leaders. Mira grabbed his arm before he left. Promise me, she said quietly. Don't let them turn you into something wrong. Arvin smiled softly. We are not rising to destroy. We are rising to remember. Inside the alien flagship, Arvin stepped into the reptilian general's powerless ship. The general knelt on the floor, claws shaking. So, it is true, he muttered. You are waking. Arvin did not speak with anger. His voice was calm. Why did you fear us so much? Because you were everything we wished to be, the general whispered. Brave. United. Impossible to predict. We could fight any enemy. Except you. Arvin looked around the silent ship. Your attack is over. But the consequences are not. The general lowered his head. What will you do to us? Arvin looked out the viewing window at the moon, glowing like a guardian watching over Earth. We will decide together. Not as humans of today, but as who we were meant to be. The Council receives Earth's message. Moments later, every leader of the galaxy received a transmission. A single human standing before the glowing moon. Arvin. Earth does not seek war, he said calmly. But we will no longer be controlled. The galaxy will change. And we will take our true place. The council room filled with whispers. What place? Do they plan to rule us? Are they claiming the galaxy? The elder asked. Then what is your intention? Arvin answered. To protect. The final revelation. The moon grew brighter, opening a massive circular gate above Earth. Stars twisted inside it like a tunnel leading somewhere far, far beyond known space. Arvin continued. We will discover our origin. We will rebuild what was lost. And we invite any peaceful race to join us. The galaxy was stunned. Humans were not rising as conquerors. They were rising as guardians. Once again. Ending scene. As the gate opened fully, its light reflected in every ocean, every city, every mountain on Earth. People stepped outside to watch the beginning of a new age. Mira stood beside Arvin at the launch platform. "So this is it," she whispered. Arvin nodded. The day Earth retaliated was the day we remembered who we are. The first ships rose toward the glowing gate. Humanity was finally returning home.